For me, this image has it all, and it's so good to get out here bright and early on the first day that we're allowed out and about to do recreational activities in our local area. To be able to go home with an image that I'm happy with. What more could I ask for?
We have now reasonable confidence that the R number has been below 1 for a period of more than 3 weeks. This evidence has allowed the Scottish Government therefore to conclude that we can now move into phase 1 of our 4-phase route map out of lockdown. Some non-contact outdoor leisure activities will be allowed to restart again from tomorrow, and you'll be able to travel, preferably by walking or cycling, to a location near your local community for recreation.
I'm back. Today marks day 1 of phase 1 of the restrictions here in Scotland being lifted. And although it means I'm restricted still to my very immediate local area, I'm very fortunate to have places like this within a very short drive of my home. So this morning I got up at 4:15, drove 10 minutes down the road, and I've arrived at the beautiful Fraserburgh beach. I'm the only one here, and I'm pretty certain that me getting up early in the morning has meant that day 1 of these lockdown restrictions beginning to be lifted, and I'm probably the first person to get out and enjoy this beach recreationally for the first time in about 9 or 10 weeks. Incredible. Anyway, the sun is now rising, so I'm going to get my camera out, or actually first I'm going to go for a wee walk around, a wee wander, look for some compositions, look for some interest. I've obviously not done landscape photography for about 9 or 10 weeks now, so I'm going to be a bit rusty, but I'm just excited to be out again. What a feeling! I can't remember the last time I was this excited and happy to get up at 4 AM and come out for sunrise. Now, as much as I love coming to the beach early in the morning or the evening when the sun is rising or setting, without interesting foreground interest or rocks or rock pools or just nice interest in an image, it can be very difficult to get a good landscape photograph. And what I mean by this morning I've come down to a complete beachy area, which means there's no rocks, no rock pools, very little interesting things on the beach to give me nice foreground to lead into the sunrise, which means instead I have this blanket of sea with this very sort of white and overpowering colour on the sea. I don't really know how to describe it, but I find this time of day quite difficult when I'm just shooting the sea and the beach. So I'm sure many of you who have watched my channel during lockdown are aware that I've become very interested in macro photography and the little parts of nature that we normally just walk past. Now, I'm not here this morning to do macro photography, I've not got my macro lens with me, but one thing I have noticed is this beautiful drops of rain or dew, morning dew, on the marram grass here in the dune system. And although I'm struggling to get a really nice interesting composition, one thing I'm doing is zooming into these water droplets and framing the sunrise in between them and trying to find some sort of interesting composition that includes the grasses with the morning dew on it as well as the sunrise in the distance. And what that's doing is allowing me to eliminate that very washed out sea that we've currently got given the conditions, and trying to find something interesting to put in my frame in a location and a situation where there's, like I say, very little interesting foreground opportunities. Now if I'd got here earlier, I would have had more opportunity to have sourced out and found myself some interesting foregrounds. However, as the sun rises at 4:20 in the morning, I'm sure you can appreciate that every last minute in bed was well needed this morning. Getting up at this time of day is quite difficult, but it's rewarding nevertheless. And it's good to look at the more intimate and intricate details of the landscape, to try and find a photograph that's a little bit different and that includes something that you maybe haven't thought about including before, and gets rid of that need to find a foreground in a landscape where you're struggling to find a foreground. I hope that makes sense. Not my best images, but a great sort of way to break myself back into being out and about in nature, doing a bit of landscape and enjoying these beautiful times of day after such a long period stuck indoors, unable to do the photography that I love. It's all about connecting with nature at the end of the day, and this is a great way to do that. Putting myself under any pressure this morning to get images or good images or any images. It's funny, but although getting up early and coming out to watch the sunrise is a beautiful time of day, something that I find, you know, exciting and wonderful, and on mornings like this where it's beautiful, calm, you've got clear skies, barely a breeze in the air, you know, it's lovely conditions to be out in and come for a walk in. But as I'm sure anybody who does landscape photography or outdoor photography will know, that still calm, clear mornings like this are not the best mornings for photography, purely because you've not got beautiful clouds that give you colours in the sky. Although having said that, there is a few clouds on the horizon that were lit up nice pink colours when I was driving here, and as I say, I should have got up earlier. And in the winter months, I always ensure I get to a location an hour before sunrise, and if I'd done that this morning, I think I possibly would have got some nice conditions that I could have worked with. But I didn't, because it's so ridiculously early in the morning. And today for me really is about just getting back out with my camera, about reconnecting with nature and enjoying moments like these. And like I say, although mornings like these are beautiful to be out in, they're not the most inspiring and the most easy for photography, because you've not got any, like I say, clouds, you've not got any crazy crashing waves creating drama. Because there's no clouds and no differences in the sky, you've not got that opportunity for that intense light or the colours that you maybe would want. And also coming to a complete beach location, as I said, it's so difficult to find a foreground interest. But during lockdown, I kind of came to realise that for me, photography isn't about coming out and getting a good image. It's always been about reconnecting or connecting with nature and learning about nature and enjoying times of the day and natural spectacles that the majority of people don't experience or don't appreciate. And for me, I think moving forward in my photography, I'm really going to reconnect with that idea and just go out, I guess, for me, and if I get a good image, I get a good image, and if I don't, like I say, I'm out this morning, I'm the only person here, probably the first person to enjoy this beach recreationally while, you know, since lockdown came into place. And I imagine, because today is actually meant to be the hottest day of the year so far in Scotland, I imagine this beach is probably going to be pretty busy later today now that we're allowed out for recreational things. So it's really nice to get up super early in the morning and come out and enjoy this beach before other people come here. So yeah, it's all about being out and about, enjoying it. If you go home with an image, you go home with an image. If you don't, just appreciating being out is what it's all about. But I'm going to continue walking around, continue looking for compositions. Although the sun has risen and the best of the light, as I say, I probably missed it. There's still so many opportunities and possibilities here this morning. And I'm going to be here for at least another hour and a half, maybe even 2, maybe even 3 hours, just soaking in this sea, coastal, beautiful scenes around me that I've missed so much during lockdown, and reconnecting with this coastline that I love so much, because it's just beautiful. We're on to a winner here. Now this just shows you that right now I'm out in conditions which are beautiful, but which I don't class as optimum conditions for landscape photography. However, we are now about 45 minutes since the sun has risen. Actually, probably about an hour now since the sun has risen, and we've not got that beautiful golden glow. We've not got beautiful colours in the clouds, but what I have found is a really sort of interesting shape or path in the marram grass and the dunes that I've been walking on that sort of leads the viewer's eye in to the town of Fraserburgh on the horizon. And being somebody who has only recently got my first full frame camera, I'm not used to cameras being able to include so much in the image, and it's actually been blowing my mind, because one thing I used to be so big on was doing coastal photography in rocky locations, but I never felt like I could include as much of the foreground in my image as I maybe wanted to, or that I was seeing online with my crop sensor camera. And now that I've got a full frame camera, loving this Z6 by the way, I know a few of you have been asking me on social media, this camera in many ways, I just transformed my photography. I'm still using my DSLR, I use it for wildlife photography and my macro photography, but being able to have a full frame camera with so many capabilities and a nice mirrorless camera for landscapes, it's, like I said, revolutionised what I can do in many ways. But it doesn't matter what camera you have, you can get good images no matter what. But just having that full frame sensor now is allowing me to include so much more in my foreground, and having a wide angle lens as well. And that has allowed me to create this image here, which I really like. It's got foreground interest, it's got leading lines, and it's got a nice sort of focal point in the background with the town, which gives you a sense of where I am and, you know, where I'm photographing from and the beautiful scene that I'm in just now. For me, this image has it all, and it's so good to get out here bright and early on the first day that we're allowed out and about to do recreational activities in our local area, to be able to go home with an image that I'm happy with. What more could I ask for? It's just so beautiful. It's just so nice to be out in nature again, to hear the birds singing, to hear the sea crashing around me, and to be fully immersing myself in nature. And I just want to say quickly a huge thank you to all of you who have donated to my Ko-fi page so far. As many of you know, I am on a mission to travel around Scotland and photograph every lighthouse in the country, and obviously that is on hold just now given the current restrictions. But when everything lifts in hopefully a few months' time, I'll be able to get out and about again and hopefully visit some more of those lighthouses and maybe visit a few of the islands too. So everybody who's donated to my Ko-fi page, I really appreciate it. And if you would like to support my channel and my mission to photograph every lighthouse in Scotland, and you have a spare £3 in your bank account, it would mean the world to me if you could head over to my page and give me a donation. been wonderful this morning, absolutely wonderful to get back out in nature again and to have this beach completely to myself. You know, I think lockdowns really taught us, I guess, what matters to us and allowed us to reconnect with ourselves and relearn, I suppose, what we enjoy and what we appreciate. And just being able to get to the coast this morning and embrace dawn and the beautiful sunrise and watch and hear nature come to life for another day and get ready for today, which is going to be an absolute scorcher of a day. It's just so nice to be able to do that. To be able to do that again, even if it is only in a very restricted local area. I think no matter where we live in the country or in the world, I'm sure you will have somewhere a very short walk, drive or cycle from your house that when restrictions are beginning to be lifted where you are, that you can get out and enjoy. And I feel so grateful actually to be an outdoorsy person and to be able to benefit from phase 1, because the restrictions that are being lifted today are very minor in many ways, but for somebody who enjoys photography and being out and about and just enjoying being out in nature by myself or with a few close people, these lifting of phase 1 restrictions are perfect for me, as I'm sure they are for many of you outdoor photographers out there. So yeah, what a beautiful way to start the day and day 1 of this restrictions being lifted. Just want to say a huge thank you for watching, and I'm going to be out and about a lot in the coming weeks because obviously the rest of my work has been cancelled, so I'm going to be out a lot, doing a lot of photography, a lot of vlogging, and I look forward to sharing that journey with you all. I'll see you all again next time.